Hey, this is the Leadership Skills Questionnaire blog. I scored high on administrative, low on interpersonal, and the conceptual I scored very high on. This is kind of what I expected. I tend to be a black and white thinker. I don't really live in the gray like they say nurses do. Very much into logic. I'm a very mathematical person. I am a numbers-oriented person. I would lean on this a lot as a problem solver in this position. I think that the biggest thing we would need would be analysis over time. Obviously the needs change depending on the location, the patient population, length of stay, the level of care needed, staffing, so many things come into this. And I think the only way to really get a true picture on that is to adjust over time, and you need the numbers to do that. That's what I would need. Outcomes aren't the only consideration. We want to be patient-centered, but at the same time, it's not the only thing to consider. Obviously, a lot more comes into it than simply that. Otherwise, each unit would just spend $20 billion and give everyone the most amazing care ever, and everyone on the planet would be living to 120 years old. So I think that communication would be a key there. Flexibility as well as incentives toward the staff would be the biggest thing to get proper staffing, obviously after you have those numbers, and then communicate that to those who make the decisions to actually give you what you need. I'm definitely more of the manager type in ability than leadership. I'm looking at the book's difference in definition between the two, but I enjoy the leadership stuff more. I don't enjoy the managerial administrative type of stuff. The article I found was on transdisciplinary care, model of care specific to palliative medicine. I think that is very pertinent because in palliative, obviously, you're bringing a lot of different people together, MDs, RNs, social workers, issues of what the person's wishes are. You have the financial issues, you need the chaplains involved. It's just so many things. So I think it has a lot of merit to kind of other scenarios and other type of management positions. Obviously, the policies that they've that would have to be implemented in order to make this work, and then educating the staff from the top down to know what those policies are that are going to be implemented to make this work. Staff and families need to be made aware of the resources available. Let's see. I think over long term, just the managers that are above me would be the people that are most likely, need to be working with. Other departments, as policies previously mentioned above, would indicate would be necessary as well, and those who work under you obviously is who you need to communicate with. As far as my own healthcare organization, I think it's mostly the higher up you go, the more it's hierarchical and the more it's vertical. But in the lower levels, it's much more horizontal. For me, I think that the horizontal allows greater ideas because it allows for the sharing of multiple viewpoints and ideas. So I think in the end, you may have better solutions doing that. But the vertical is obviously an easier way to actually get things accomplished and get things done. So possibly a matrix model. My UNC Healthcare looks like a little bit like a matrix, especially at the lower levels, but it's really not. It just looks like it on the chart, but there's really nothing connecting those horizontal layers to each other. It's really just a bunch of different vertical chains that branch out. So maybe some type of hybrid matrix model would be what I would prefer, but I think I recognize that the greatest ideas are going to come out of a horizontal structure, and that's going to have more people be happier with things that are happening and feel a bigger part of collaborating in that. But obviously the vertical actually gets things accomplished, where the horizontal just ends up a bunch of bureaucracy, and the status quo probably happens far more often in that situation. So thanks for viewing.